on. Let's say, as an example, it was as easy as getting rid of the smoking addiction. Whether you call it addiction or not, really irrelevant. You get rid of the smoking. What's left, do you think, if you just get rid of the smoking? We take the smoking away, what do you think is going to happen? Replace it with something else. And we all do it. Who here has yo-yoed from diet to diet to diet to diet before? Training routine to training routine to training routine. Course to course to course to course. Education and so on and so forth. Okay? If we take away the smoking, why would it be replaced with something else? Haven't dealt with the problem. Which means the same triggers, the same root cause. That's the general term we use in hypnotherapy. The root cause is there. Now, another mistake hypnotists make is they assume they know what the root cause is because they've been trained that way. It's actually stated as a stop smoking practitioner that there's only 7 reasons why a person smokes. How could you come up with that? The mind is very, very complex. And when we do a demonstration, you're going to see how far out there people's minds can go. Our goal, if you choose to accept it, is to figure out what's the root cause, destroy that, and then the smoking takes care of itself. Because we offer choice back to our client if they want to smoke or not. Because right now, the problems we have, we all admit, we feel our problems, right? That's where we know they're real. And if someone says to you, let's say you have anxiety, and someone says to you, well, why don't you just go to a meeting and learn how to speak in public? What would you do with that information? Reject it. Yeah, reject it. Why? Because you've already thought of that.
And if it was that simple, then people just don't do it.
Exactly. I wouldn't have a job. I know you're practicing. I know you wouldn't have a job. We wouldn't have a job. If problems were as simple as just reading something consciously, books would be our therapy. Who's been to a self-development seminar before? I'm a junkie. I love them because I love meeting people. And they psych you up for 2 days, 3 days. You feel fantastic. You do the fire walk, you do the flame in the mouth, and you think you're unbeatable. And that's great. And you feel unstoppable. And you do get motivated. I think it's a great place to be. But then you quickly realise when you go back home, shit, that bill didn't pay itself. I still don't have the money to pay for that. Oh my God, I've still got anxiety. My husband or my wife still treats me like crap. But hang on, I thought the seminar was going to fix that. They said I'd be unbreakable and unshakable. Why is it still there? Because you're fixing the wrong problem. Who's been through that before? Okay? So we need to think outside of, what do we do outside of the box? And our goal is, with the hypnotic interview, is to do one thing only. Figure out what the unconscious mind is telling us, and figuring out what the conscious mind is telling us.
That's 2 things.
But in the one thing. With the same process, we're going to figure out 2 things.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'll just edit that part out. I'm a year 10 dropout. I didn't do maths, okay? So, as I was clearly corrected, we're going to do one thing. I know. I know. We're going to use this hypnotic interview to do several things. Okay?
Sorry.
Well, no, I'm glad you did.
That's
fine. I might have you have a seat up here with me. I've got to get you back somehow. Okay? Now, for those that have been training with us long enough, read our blogs, read our books, have our products, I spend a lot of time teaching this. This is where the magic is. This right here. If you get extremely good, fantastic at the hypnotic interview, you can forget about doing all this stuff. You'll never need it again. Could you imagine working with a client and never having to do therapy? Never having to test a client? Never having a client relapse? Believe it or not, helping cure a client is easy if you find the real thing. But there's a lot of barriers up in your way. And your job with the hypnotic interview is decipher what is conscious information, that is all the excuses, and what is the unconscious information. Now, on top of that, the unconscious mind, knowing it doesn't speak logically, we need to figure out what it's trying to tell us in this abstract way. Sounds like a big task, doesn't it? Okay? So the best way for us to do this is for you guys to actually work with each other. I'll do a demonstration of it very soon. I want you guys to pair up into 3s. Okay? And in those 3s, one person needs to